It pains me to say this, but there is sadly no LEGO Star Wars UT-AT happening this year. Instead, it will be a clone turbo tank. Now, this is probably best case scenario for a worst case scenario situation. Originally set 75414, now set 75413, was rumored to have 813 pieces, be $115, and release on August 1st with Captain Bacara, Galactic Marines, and Ki-Adi-Mundi. And all of that is still true, except it's no longer a UT-AT, it's a turbo tank. And I've been someone who's been vouching for a clone turbo tank for a while now. I have a video up on it on my channel from a few months back. I wanted a Bad Batch clone turbo tank, and this just doesn't make too much sense to me why these minifigs would fit in with a clone turbo tank. I'm really curious to see what the exact meeting was at LEGO for this. It probably went something along the lines of, oh yeah, let's have a set with Galactic Marines, Bacara, and Ki-Adi-Mundi. Okay, it should be a UT-AT, but I don't know who had the genius idea to say, let's make it a clone turbo tank. Yeah, fans have wanted a clone turbo tank for a while. They probably feel they're doing service on both ends of giving us a new clone turbo tank and these awesome minifigs, which is great and all, but at the same time, I think fans would have much rather had a UT-AT over a clone turbo tank. And now, when are we ever going to get a UT-AT? I know a while back, in an older LEGO Star Wars book, there was that photo of a prototype or a model that never came out, UT-AT, and it looked great for the time, and they could have only made it better, and I was super excited for it. But when we look at the trends for LEGO Star Wars, it just doesn't make sense that a UT-AT is going to happen anytime soon. Let's just say this clone turbo tank runs its course and it retires 2027-2028. Will LEGO realistically want to drop a set that has the same exact minifigs, just a different build in it? I don't know. I know I'd personally go out and buy it if that has any influence on anything, but I'm happy that we are getting a clone turbo tank, just sad that it came at the expense of a UT-AT. Now granted, it was a rumor, and rumors are never 100% accurate, and they're always subject to change. We've seen it time and time again, but something that for so long was a UT-AT and pinned at that for I feel 6-7 months at the very least, all of a sudden one day you wake up and it seems that nobody is confirming anymore about a UT-AT, and no one really came to the defense of a UT-AT, which led us all to believe that this was going to be something different. And honestly, deep down, I felt that at that point it wasn't going to be a UT-AT anymore. I was just holding on to false hope, and it stinks because, like I've said, and I'll say it again, we've never had a UT-AT, and now I don't know when the next time a UT-AT is realistically possible, because the minifigs in this set are going to be the minifigs that we are getting in a clone turbo tank. They should have just given us phase 1 or phase 2 clones and 2 Jedi, whatever Jedi they wanted to, and called it a day, and fans would have loved it. And then you could have released a year later or so the UT-AT with Bacara, the Galactic Marines, and Ki-Adi-Mundi, and you would have had a top seller. Instead, you release UT-AT minifigs, or minifigs that best belong in a UT-AT with the clone turbo tank. I'm not trying to sit here and drag on a clone turbo tank because I've wanted one for a while now, and we are finally getting it. So I'm super excited. It's just knowing that those minifigs should have been in a UT-AT, that would have made the most sense, and seeing it in a clone turbo tank really puts a halt on the next time we could see a UT-AT. As much as I want to say at this point, when it retires, a UT-AT could happen, I just don't see that happening. I am excited for this. I am looking forward to it a lot, and I hope it looks really good. And with this being a clone turbo tank, it makes sense why this is $150 with only 813 pieces. They're going to have those big tires that we've seen on the clone turbo tanks, and the turbo tank will probably use up a lot of big panel pieces, so it makes sense why this price per piece ratio seems so off to so many people, and I only can hope that the minifigs are going to be good. The recent clone treatment hasn't been the greatest, so I am not too optimistic about it. At the end of the day, I am super excited for this still, and I still hope in the near future we can get a UT-AT with the same exact minifigs. But that isn't the only piece of news we have. As I mentioned, this was originally said to believe set 75414, and now it's set 75413. The rumors got these sets swapped, and set 75414 was originally believed to be a $50 clone turbo tank, which made no sense, and that pretty much was said to not be true, and it was going to be a different Rebuild the Galaxy set, and we now know that that will be a snowspeeder. This is going to be super cool. I can only imagine what they have up their sleeve for Rebuild the Galaxy with this. The previous Rebuild the Galaxy sets were awesome, and it's going to include Sig Griebling, Dev, and it will have a green Duros, which for those of you who may not know, a Duros is the same species as Cad Bane, but instead of having the blue skin tone, it will have a green skin tone, which is going to be super cool. I am excited for this for $50, 349 pieces. With me being a fan of pretty much almost all the other Rebuild the Galaxy sets, I expect this one to be right up there with a top seller. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this like they did with the other Rebuild the Galaxy sets. So overall, some recent news coming out of the LEGO world in the past few days. We have the official reveal of all the May sets to gift with purchase, and then we have some updated information on some other sets. So while it might not be the news we were hoping about of a official confirmed UTAT, it's now a clone turbo tank, it is what it is, and it's still a set at the end of the day that many of us were hoping for, maybe just not the expense of including Bacara, Marines, and Ki-Adi-Mundi when it could have been a UTAT. So I am going to be a little upset over those minifigs being used in this slot when there was a much more accurate and correct set that the fans wanted it in. But you know what? I will more than likely still be there on day one to pick up a clone turbo tank as someone who's been advocating for one for a while now. So I'm getting my clone turbo tank. I'm getting my buildable chopper. 2025 is off to a pretty hot start for sets that I have really wanted LEGO to make. So I can't do all that much complaining as they are delivering on a lot of wishes that I have had. So let me know what you think in the comments below about these new sets. Are you going to be picking them up? Are you upset about no UTAT? How hyped are you for the clone turbo tank? Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more LEGO content, and I'll see you in the next one.